All right.
Are we going to start it now?
We're here,
We
dude.
started it up?
What's up?
Wait, I want to do this. I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to like crack the can on the audio.
The successful failure, not brought to you by Liquid Death. Not yet.
Not
anyway.
yet.
You know, we never know.
And do the second one. Double fisting right now.
But Bashi, we do. Bashi is a sponsor, so.
I'll keep this one in the view. I'll turn this one away. Okay.
There you
Sweet.
go.
Gosh, let me try this. Holy shit. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah?
That's pretty
I've never
good.
had one yet.
It has kava in it. Do you know what? Have you been to a kava lounge?
A kava lounge? No, I don't even know what it is. People keep asking me. I refuse to read the paper.
It's like a hippie chemical that I guess is supposed to relax you. It's kind of an alternative to CBD, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like kava lounges I've seen, and even in Las Vegas I've seen those. It's quite odd.
It's like a opiate lounge, kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
It actually, I'm kind of excited to see if I'm gonna feel this.
Go ahead, do your thing, and give us a review after. Help me
I
get
will.
paid.
Let's keep pounding it. Anyways, what's up, Jesse?
You know, we're here. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We had a little flub today, so I appreciate you
Little
being
flub.
here.
It's okay. It's all good. I came out here. I'm excited to be. This is a beautiful place right now.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty
I feel
cool.
cool. We're in Hollywood on Sunset, and we're here.
Let's do it, dude. To Vegas.
Okay,
kids.
I was really excited about this because we don't know each other.
Right.
We've only met like twice now, and you're also
Hold on,
from
give me 1
Vegas.
second. Oh my goodness. Thank God those two were recording. Okay.
I'm
We're good.
really excited because we didn't know each other, and you're also from Vegas.
Right.
And then now we can get to know each other.
We can get to know each other, dude.
Yeah.
What's good? So how long you been living in LA?
How long have you been living? Since March. What is that? 9 months.
9 months?
9 months.
From
Full term
Vegas?
baby. Yeah.
No
moved,
kidding.
Moved straight here in March, like the first week of March.
Why the move?
I just wanted to get out, you know.
Yeah.
And I've known since I was 13 years old that I wanted to move here. I was supposed to move here right before the pandemic. I was planning in 2020. I was planning to move here that year when I finished school, and then of course COVID happened, so just had to put that on hold.
And you were in Vegas the whole time?
I was in Vegas the whole time.
Damn.
And it was in college and after college were rough. I was like, and I finally got a job offer out here, and I took it, and I do not have any regrets about it. I've loved it so much.
So it was the job that brought you out here, not comedy?
No, it's just an office job. I work a corporate job. It's life sucking. It's miserable. I hate it. I'm so jealous that you get to do this for work right
not
now.
even. If you would have seen my day today, maybe not, but no.
Yeah, it's brutal, but no, I remember thinking when I first moved out here that people who loved living in LA were so annoying about it.
Right.
And then now I've become that annoying person, and it disgusts me. I'm like, I love going to Erewhon. And
Oh my God, no way. I refuse to go to Erewhon.
I refuse.
I refuse. Number one, I don't have any money. And number two, I can't even say the name.
I don't have any money, but I still have to go. And I don't know. I love so many things about LA. I love going to coffee shops. I love just the energy and the people. I was telling someone this every time I went out in Vegas on a Saturday night, I so desperately wanted to go out. And then I would come home and think, wow, I should have just fucking stayed home. And then now every night I've gone out in Los Angeles, I've had a great time where I'm like, wow, this is the best decision I've ever made for myself. So
Good for you.
It's been my experience.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do out here compared to Vegas. Like Vegas, I don't know about you, but I grew up there my whole life, but more so just I moved away when I was 27, and all my 20s was just me partying. That was it. That's all I remember, or
Really?
barely remember.
See, mine was the opposite. I did not party because every time I tried to, I just didn't like it. I remember going to parties multiple times, and I'd be at a party with a group of people I didn't know very well, and I'd just be sitting there and think, why am I here? I don't like any of you. None of you have any ambition to do anything, and I'm so glad I got out of there.
So do you feel like people in LA have a different mindset than the people in Vegas?
Yes, I feel as though there are people that I've met here in LA who have the work ethic and the drive. Definitely there's a lot of bullshitters too.
Right.
But I do really appreciate how the grind that everyone has out here. God, that's such an annoying word. The grind that everyone has out here to pursue whatever they're doing. And even if they don't have an insane I guess, passion or work ethic for it. It seems like there are those people who are doing things kind of little by little because they enjoy it out here. And so that's something I've just noticed is just the difference.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to make sure I'm recording again. I do this all the time. I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
We're good. Sorry. So we're going to pick that back up. So Vegas, their mindsets. I don't know if it took me a couple years to really notice the different movements in people from Vegas compared to out here in LA. Like people in Vegas, they walk really, really slow. Oh. And it's just like almost like a WALL-E, the movie WALL-E.
Well, because it's so hot. You can't move.
That's true.
It's so fucking hot. You're sweating just being outside for 5 minutes. This was my first summer not in Las Vegas.
That's true.
And it was glorious. Just being outside. The difference that the weather can have on your mental health is incredible. Because this is what I did when I lived in Vegas. It was so hot, so you would stay up all night because it was miserable to do anything. And then you'd sleep in until 12.
Exactly.
When pretty much when you were a teenager or in college, and then everything just felt wasted and days would just fly by. Yeah, like nobody slept because it was just nobody slept. I don't know. Yeah, it was awful.
And then the only thing to do at night is go out and party.
Go to party and you go to what? There's like 3 bars, baby. 3 bars.
Where did you hang out?
Get roofied at a PT's. I don't know. Everybody got roofied at a PT's in Las Vegas.
At a PT's, really?
Like so many of my friends, so many people I know have gotten roofied downtown Las Vegas or at
downtown
a PT's.
for sure.
Downtown for sure.
For sure. That was my stomping grounds. Not that I roofied anybody. Okay, people.
See,
but
I turned 21. Wait, I can't believe you're even 27. So
me?
Yeah, I thought you were like the
I'm
same
34,
age.
dude.
Oh my god.
I'm way
that Pinoy blood.
Yeah, that Pinoy blood, dude.
The Pinoy blood. You know I'm Filipino, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I turned 21 like a couple years before COVID, so then I got like a year of being out of freedom.
Got it.
And then it was COVID and couldn't go anywhere for a couple years, so I didn't really get to enjoy downtown as much as other people did.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. You weren't missing much, honestly. It's the same thing every night.
Yeah, exactly. I went there. Me and some LA friends went out there last weekend, and I took them to Fremont Street, and they were like, "Wow, that was a sensory overload." Yeah. And I was like, I know. I just wanted to see the trauma in your guys' eyes from that. We saw probably 3 people vomit in one night on Fremont Street.
Typical Vegas night.
Yeah. But
any boobs?
All the boobs.
All the boobs.
So many boobs.
Penises.
Did we see any penises?
Or man ass?
Didn't see. Maybe we saw a man ass or 2, but there were definitely titties everywhere. But something about it going back is this is home.
Dude, it's fun.
It's like this is where I'm from. I used to hang out here when I was a teenager.
It's fun. Every time I go out, go back with my girlfriend, we usually stay at downtown or at the Palms. You know what I mean? Just because she loves it too now. She's from France, but she loves Vegas now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she loves it. She hated it at first, but now she's all about it.
I got it.
Yeah.
I do love Vegas in the way I needed to get out, but I do. I have this pride about it now, where I'm like, I can say mean things about it, but I love it.
Right.
At the same time. Yeah. That is where I grew up. That is what got me here. Yeah.
It is weird though, but once you move out, that's when you realize how much you love the city.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Because I miss it. I miss it.
I do not miss it,
No?
but I have an appreciation for it.
I see.
I am very glad I grew up there, but I'm very happy to be back here.
I see.
To be here now.
Yeah. I mean, it is fun out here, I won't lie, but it's just, I think what it is, I miss my family and friends. I think that's all.
Oh, well, I go back once a month. I
Lucky.
go back once a month. I'll do shows out there and then come back here. And sometimes I have friends that go back and forth a lot, so I'll hitch a ride with someone or I'll fly, and it's worked out really well.
Yeah. How are the shows out there in comparison to LA?
Honestly, okay, so the tourist crowds. I heard the tourist crowds. So if you're doing a show at the Stratosphere or Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, both great clubs, but the crowds, someone said this, it's like there's so many fake tits and oxygen tanks in these crowds. Like
that's a great description of Vegas.
But I mean, they have Don't Tell Comedy there. That's really fun.
Dude, that's dope.
And beautiful. They're doing a great thing out there. Those were the first shows that I did where I thought, wow, this is so fun.
Yeah.
Like, this is the greatest thing. This is what I want to do. And so, yeah, it's definitely growing. They have Wise Guys out there. And
Yeah, Wise Guys is
Wise
fun.
Guys is beautiful, beautiful club.
Yeah.
And so,
Speaking of downtown Las Vegas, gotta plug El Cortez real
the
quick.
El Cortez.
The El Cortez, this
Hotel
old
and
stomping grounds.
Casino. Yeah.
Going back to the comedy in Vegas, did you start comedy out in Vegas?
I did start comedy in Vegas.
Okay.
And I think, so I spent a summer out in LA interning where the company I work for now. And when I was here, I was really going through this self-discovery thing of, okay, what do I want to do? I tried rock climbing. I tried hiking. I tried so many different things.
Everything a lesbian would do, basically.
Pretty much. Played the bass in a band, all the lesbian stuff. And then one day I saw Taylor Tomlinson at a Whole Foods, and I was like, oh, I should go see her show. So I went to watch the shows at the Comedy Store. Yeah. I showed up alone at the Comedy Store, I was like 21 years old.
Damn.
Barely allowed in. And I get there and they're like, oh, how many people? I'm like, it's just me. They're like, you showed up alone? I'm like, yeah. They're like, do you know someone on the lineup? I'm like, no. And the door guy looks at the other door guy and he's like, this girl showed up alone. And they're like laughing at me. And I was so embarrassed. And then these two sweet girls were like, oh, you can sit with us. And
That's
I was
sweet.
actually kind of thankful for that. But
Yeah.
I just remember like how traumatizing that was. I was like, I'm never
Fucking comics,
never
dude.
showing up to this alone again.
I go alone out there all the time.
Yeah.
To hang out, but I've never gone to a show alone.
I could now, like, because I
Yeah.
am one, but it's weird enough to go to a place alone as a woman. Like, I would never go to a bar alone. I would never go to the movies alone. And I don't know if it's I think it's a mix of, one, it's kind of shameful, and two, like, you will get bothered. Like, you
That's
will
true.
100% get bothered.
Yeah.
And
I look like a Filipino lesbian, so I know.
I don't know.
I got a haircut every time someone sees me.
I think
I
if you cut the fade a little bit more, you probably would.
cut it shorter.
If the fade was a little deeper, you know.
Damn.
Yeah, I saw a lesbian with a nice fade yesterday.
I told him I was going for the Filipino lesbian.
Going
look.
for the Filipino.
Yeah.
Do you say my grandma would always say this bakla? Is he
Bakla? Is he bakla? Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up, because there are some things that I want to try on stage that I'm afraid to. Like, for instance, a Filipino accent. Like, I have this whole bit where if I was a rapper, at the end of rap songs,
Yeah.
they have like the voicemail of their grandma. It's a bit where, like, if I was a rapper, how would a Filipino grandma call me? You know what I mean? Or be her complaining. But I want to do the voice, but I'm so scared to do it. Or not even that I'm scared. I've done it. I just don't feel like people are reacting it to the way I expect them to.
Yeah,
Right?
and I think that's hard. I mean, I don't feel like I can comment on that, because even though I grew up in a Filipino, like I grew up with my grandparents who are from the Philippines.
Okay.
I don't feel like I could talk about it enough. I'll like gently throw it in sometimes, and so I don't know. And then
So you don't talk about your Filipino heritage a
I
little
kind
bit?
of don't.
No?
Honestly.
Why
I've
not?
tried to occasionally, but I don't know. If something, I feel like I don't, since I look white passing, that it hasn't absorbed as well from the audience.
That happens with a lot of mixed comedians. I feel like I had Angie Stroud on the podcast, and she said the same exact thing. She's half white, half black, and when she
Yeah.
went to basically an all black show, her racial jokes didn't really get received well.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting. That this is who you are. We always say, be authentic, be you, and it's who
Yeah.
you are. But yet some crowds, they just won't fuck with who you are.
Yeah, like I've tried to throw some tidbits in, like I think I always say the most Filipino thing about me now is I have the bag that says my peck peck my choice.
Peck peck. For those of you who don't know, peck peck is vagina.
It's the funniest word for vagina. It's the greatest.
The peck peck.
It's the greatest thing. My Palestinian friend gave that to me.
Dude, I haven't heard that word since my
so
childhood.
long. No, I've heard it all the time. But yeah, no, like. Did you have a tabu growing up? A tabu?
Tabu?
Yeah,
Like a
before
tabu?
it's the Filipino bidet, the
Yeah,
tabu.
no, I didn't. My mom
You know
always had
tabu?
that. Yeah, my mom had
You were
that.
high class, so
Not even, bro. I just can't.
You're high
I can't
class
deal with the
Asian.
water on my butthole. Even bidets, I just can't.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather just use a wet wipe
Okay,
rather than getting water shut up my
I'm glad
booty.
you cleared that up. That
Yes,
you do.
yeah.
You
I've
do.
never even tried it. The thing is, I
Really?
just know that it's gonna
it
get
would-
awkward once I feel something on
Are
my
you
butthole.
scared you're gonna like it?
No, I like butt stuff.
Okay.
Okay, let's just clear that. I just want to
Let's
clear that with
get
everybody.
into it.
Okay, I just don't involuntary.
Okay.
It's involuntary is what it feels like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you're doing it for yourself for like cleanliness.
At that point, I'd rather just get in the shower.
Yeah, okay, I guess so. But I want to, you probably have one of those detachable shower heads, huh?
Yeah, I do.
I want one so badly.
I do.
Specifically for that reason.
In both of my bathrooms. I've got 2 bathrooms.
You've got 2
I've got
bathrooms.
2 bathrooms, you know.
Flex.
But-
Jesse has 2 bathrooms and a clean asshole.
I'm putting that in my bio. That's me. That's how I want to get introduced on stage every time. Every time. Every time. Do you have any Vegas jokes?
Do you have any Vegas jokes?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I'm there, when I'm there, I can do a longer set much easier because I can just riff off of Vegas stuff. And I realized that when I moved here, I was like, oh, I can't do Boulder Highway jokes out here. Can't do Boulder Highway jokes, but no, yeah,
What is the equivalent in LA to Boulder Highway jokes?
the equivalent in LA, maybe
probably
like Inland Empire stuff.
Okay.
Hollywood Boulevard.
Yep, there you go.
Dude, I did see someone squatting and dumping on Hollywood Boulevard as I was driving here.
As you were driving
as
here?
I was driving here, like lady right next to me popping a squat, like, and I wasn't looking, but I could tell she wasn't peeing.
Well, good for her. As long as she's comfortable doing it
Like
outside.
it was. I mean, like to I don't know. Just to bring, there's people with strollers there.
Yeah.
And it's insanity. Anyways,
I used to live down there, and one time walking, it was raining in the morning, and this dude was passed out on the side, but just a whole bunch of just poop just running down the sidewalk, and I was like, "What in the fuck is this, dude?
Yeah.
It's crazy out here, like with that."
It's
like in Vegas, you don't even. I don't recall.
I've never seen
that.
human shit. No.
Yeah.
I've never seen human. Yeah. It's weird how regional homeless people are. Like in Vegas, they can rarely move because it's so hot. They're just they're crawling on the streets. I'm not gonna do homeless material right now. Fuck. Yeah. No. I talk about. I think Vegas culture. I feel like was just Four Loko, Adderall, and hot Cheetos. That was Vegas culture growing up.
Apart from the Adderall, that was basically, you're right.
Yeah.
I never did Adderall.
I never did Adderall.
Yeah, I never did Adderall.
I wanted to, but I never did.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. I've done it, but I don't.
Yeah, there was a lot
of
of Adderall going around in college. I know that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, all the nursing girls. I remember that. Did you go to college in Vegas?
I went to CSN.
You went to CSN?
Yeah.
I went to CSN high school. So,
CSN high school?
Yeah,
Look
so
at
I
you,
did
dude.
the
You're
college
you're right
program.
Filipino.
I did everything right. I just didn't do nursing. That's all.
You're an engineer.
Yeah, I did engineering instead.
Ooh.
I was like, I'm not wiping butts.
Yeah.
No, not for me.
Not for everybody. That's what I used to do.
Really? You were a nurse?
I was a caretaker.
Oh, wow.
Like an actual caretaker.
Wow.
Just, dude, before moving out here.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. I grew up in a care home.
I see.
Yeah.
So your family was nurses too?
Yeah, my mom was a nurse in Hawaii, and then she decided to open up a business out in Vegas where she took care of old people.
Okay.
And that's basically my whole life was just
That's
growing
sweet.
up with. You think so? But a lot of them had dementia, and they were really mean.
Oh, yeah.
Those were my bullies.
That's my grandfather. My
no shit.
grandfather pretty much has no fucking clue what's going on.
Filipino?
And he's so mean.
Filipino?
Yeah,
Grandpa?
he's
No
my
kidding.
Filipino grandfather. He's so mean. Like every time he's in the hospital, I'm like looking at the nurses like, I am sorry. This is the worst. Yeah.
It's a wild disease. That's a disease where, like, I don't know. They always say, like, I hear from nurses and doctors all the time, but they always say, like, they're able to make fun of what they do because they're around it so much.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt, but it never works on stage.
So I do know something about you. I know that how long have you been doing comedy?
5 months.
5 months. Yeah. You're a fetus.
Yeah, basically.
But I haven't been doing it that long either. I'm still like a baby. But so why did you move out here? If you didn't move here for comedy, why did you move out here?
Film.
Film.
I moved out here for film, and I started working in film, started making short films, wrote a feature, wrote pilots, did all that stuff.
Okay.
And then just this year, dude, I didn't realize it when it was happening, but I kind of fell out of love with it. And just kind of like even the grind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm a huge person on you have to love the grind in order to do it.
Oh, 100%.
And I fell out of love with it, and I was just kind of just forcing my way through it throughout the year. And thank God that the strike happened because the work went out, and then I was just like, all right, well, I got to figure something else out here.
Yeah.
Then started comedy, and then I started the podcast to learn about comedy, and then now I'm fucking here.
Yeah.
Within that's 4 months of starting the podcast.
That's solid, yeah.
3.5 months of starting the podcast, I'm here. So it just it was meant to be. I feel like, you know what I mean? I'm not giving up on filmmaking as of yet, for specifically the writing, because I love the writing part of it. The directing, maybe I'll do it again, but it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm not getting paid for a creative position, I'm not going to work in film anymore.
I got it.
Because I was going the PA route.
Working in film, like, okay, the only thing that I've really witnessed is I would watch like student films being made in Las Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
In studios. I had a crush on this director guy.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Broke my heart. But I had a crush on this director guy, and I would hang around and watch them film his, and I was like, this is the most stressful thing. You're relying on so many people to pull through. And I was like, if you really, really have to love it to do this.
Exactly. Because that was another thing too, is like I would give these people these big promises, like, oh, if we get this one, then I'm going to move on to a feature. I'm going to hire you guys on the feature film. Like it's almost like a multi-level marketing, right? Where you give them all the promises in the world, and only the people get paid are the people up top.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I had realized that, and that kind of got to my head, and I was just like, I don't know if this is something like, because with comedy, the barrier of entry is so much easier and cheaper, right? Like you go to the mics, you go up there yourself, and
you're only relying on yourself.
Exactly.
Like I did music before I did comedy, and just relying on just people to show up for that was being a musician. Like early on, I stopped at a show at the Knitting Factory and just watched like
the Knitting Factory,
the one at on Linkersham in North Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw a band there playing, just a small crowd, and I was like, being a low level band seems so much more miserable than being a low level comedian.
That's so true though.
And I so respect to all the musicians and all the film people.
Yeah.
Way more than comedians. No, being a comedian's painful. I don't know. I'm feeling this kava.
I'm feeling the kava. I'm gonna get a refill on this if you don't mind.
I'm glad you're drinking, because I don't know. I feel like I like had a lot of drunk conversations with people for the first time last night, and it's great. It's great.
You like having drunk conversations with people?
I do. I'm a drink talker person.
Yeah, I'm very social when I start getting a little tipsy. That's a Filipino side.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, dude.
Exactly.
How long you been doing comedy?
I started November 2019.
Damn.
So I did my first show January of 2020, and it was so much fun. And then the world collapsed.
Yeah.
But like I accepted it. It gave me a lot of time to think about, do I want to go back and do this, or do I want to pursue my professional career?
And have you figured that out yet?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in a mix of, let me try my hardest right now.
Yeah.
And then if I get tired of it down the road, I can just go back to school and do engineering, honestly. But I did have a really intense job in Las Vegas, working nights and traveling a lot. And that was a big reason I left, was because it was just getting in the way. I had to be up at like 4 a.m. And I'm like, I'm at dive bar until 11 p.m. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Can't do both. And so, yeah, I'm kind of in a midway, but definitely like 70-30 now.
With the comedy?
Yeah, and so I found an office job that has good hours and a flexible schedule to where I can at least make it to mics, make it to shows, and it all works out right now. So
there you
I'm
go.
Happy with that.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, a reason why I asked, because I saw the first time I ever saw you go up was at the Hollywood Improv.
Oh yeah.
And you got a
saw me on a
callback.
good night.
Dude, you got a callback though.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That was I wanted to shit myself that night, but I feel like everybody feels that way. Plus, because I'm new here and I don't really know people. And it was very, and I'm like, everybody just bombed. I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna bomb too, and gotta accept it. It's okay because everybody else bombed.
So that was your mindset of going up there? You're gonna bomb?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna bomb, and it's gonna be. I just need to accept it. Like, there's no turning back now. And then my first joke hit, and I was like, okay, never mind. Yeah. Let's go. And so no, that was probably one of my favorite moments I've had in LA.
There you go.
It was that time, because met a lot of like other women that night too that I didn't know before, and so it was just, I really appreciated how many people I met that night.
That was a good night.
Yeah,
that was a good night to be out there and just kind of hanging out and
Yeah.
seeing the comics do their thing.
Yeah, it was great.
Good, but congratulations on that. Good for you, because
Thank you.
those, from what I hear, come few and far between for people. You know what I mean? Like
That was the first time I showed up there too.
What?
That was the first
Get
time
the
I
fuck
went
outta here,
there.
dude.
I got pulled my first night, and yeah, my boss was gone that week. I get off work at 5:30, and you have to be there at 5, and so I snuck out of work really early.
Yeah.
Signed up. They were like down to their last 3, and I'm like, well, this sucks. And so, but no, it all worked out. So
how did
sometimes you gotta trust the process. a little
absolutely,
bit. Yeah.
absolutely. How did the lab go the next day?
The lab was really fun the next day too, and I liked the hosts there that night. They were really sweet, and so I really appreciated the welcomeness there.
Support.
The Improv has a little bit more of a cheery feel than maybe some other places. Other places just feel so cutthroat. Like
I always say the Comedy Store feels like high school again.
it really does.
Especially for new comics.
It really does. Oh my
Yeah.
god, being a new comedian I can empathize with that because I couldn't imagine being a new comic here. That would be tough. I'm glad I started somewhere else with a smaller scene. But yeah,
It was tough. Like, a lot of people would just look at me, what are you doing, dude?
also okay. I'm thankful. Thank you to all the women in LA. None of you are listening to this, but thank you to all the women in LA who put on like places for women in comedy here, because I think about my experience going to an open mic for the first time, and it was just at this smoky bar, the Smoky Steelers bar
In cells.
on Tropicana and Pecos.
Dude, what?
It was
Damn, that's
it was Noreen's
rough right
Lounge,
there.
Tropicana and Pecos, smoky bar. You smelled like cigarettes. After you hung out at that mic,
Damn.
like 20 people would sign up. It'd be all dudes.
Yeah.
All dudes in their 40s.
Yep.
And they'd say weird things to you.
Yep.
And
I think it's comedy.
yeah, and they'd be and it was, luckily the people hosting that night were so awesome, and I ended up hosting at that dinky bar like 2 years later.
Good for you.
And so it was, but I think about that, how uncomfortable it is to go into a room of comedy as a person in general, but as a
Right.
woman.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
it's-
absolutely.
That's where the difference really comes in.
I mean,
is-
you've been to the Fourth Wall NoHo, right?
Yeah, I live.
Yeah.
I live near that one, and
Okay.
like I was lucky the first time I went there. I knew some people there already. Like I knew probably 4 people
There you
in
go.
Los Angeles before I moved here. So with those 4 people, I like milked as much as I could out of them to get to know people here. But yeah, I knew a couple people the first time I went there, and it wasn't that bad. And the host was pretty cool. But I can understand, like, if you're there on like a weird night with certain people there, you're
yeah.
like, why do you people do this?
Yeah, exactly, dude. That was like one of my first open mics in LA, because I had my first open mic right before my birthday
Oh,
out in Vegas at Wise Guys.
okay.
So like I invited all my friends and family, and I was like, if I bomb, you'll laugh. If I do good, you'll laugh. So either way, you'll laugh.
Yeah, you guys love me enough to laugh. And then all
Exactly.
the other comics were like, "Oh, this guy brought all these people.
yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
put him on last."
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I bombed like the first half, and then I picked it up the second half, which was really cool.
That's okay. Yeah, that's a really really fun mic. That
It is a
one.
fun mic.
That's the opposite of what the lab mic feels like.
Oh, really?
I feel like Wise Guys, maybe because I was just so accustomed to the people there and everything, but Tuesdays and Wednesdays the Wise Guys were so much fun.
Yeah.
Fun hang, fun crowd. Like it was always, once that came about, everyone was like, okay, we're in it, guys.
Yeah. Do you know Matt Salt?
I do know Matt Salt.
That's the homie. I went to high school with him.
You went to high
Yeah,
school
we
with
graduated
Matt Salt?
together.
Wow. Okay, no offense to Matt Salt, but I feel like he's so much older than you. No,
It was
yeah.
hilarious. He actually got up the day I went, and then my parents were there, and then he was just like, "Oh, Jesse, we used to throw the dopest fucking parties in high school, dude." And
Oh
my
my
parents were like,
God.
I was like, "Bro," and I could see him. He like switched up on it real quick. It was hilarious.
Matt Salt was at the first comedy show I went to. I went to watch.
He's been doing it forever, dude.
Yeah, he was. I went to watch Jocelyn Sharp's Filth Factory. Do you know Jocelyn?
Never
She's
heard of
amazing.
Her.
She had this show called Filth Factory at the Stratosphere
Okay.
prior, and he was on like the very first one I watched to see what like local Vegas comedy was like.
Yeah.
Great dude.
Hilarious, dude. Good stuff. Let's see here. Going back to the comedy, I prepared this time. I've been getting high.
I know.
On
I was
these
gonna say, are
podcasts.
you? Did you ask questions? Did you write down questions?
I did.
Hell yeah.
Oh, here we go. What was in comedy? What was like something that was like a failure, or at the moment felt like a failure, but then later you realized it was actually something that you needed that turned into a success? I asked this because the podcast is called The Successful Failure.
Oh, the successful failure.
So I gotta ask that.
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to turn my. Can I just say I just feel like I've been so successful? No, I'm kidding.
No.
I've been so successful in comedy. I've never failed. Let's see. The only thing I can think of is I got asked to host a show that it was a really important show for a really important subgroup of comedy in Las Vegas. And I was like, yeah, I can totally host. And then thinking about it, I was like, maybe I can't. Because host, and it's weird because you get offered hosting before anything else.
Right, yeah.
But you have to be like so comfortable with hosting to be a great host. And I just remember there were these girls there in the crowd who bullied me in high school. Like they were so mean to me in high school. And they were in the crowd and I got so insecure. And I just like got so in my head and just ate total shit. And then I realized that the guy who put me on and was booking me, he wasn't even paying attention. He was in the back doing something else, had no clue how I was doing. And so I just got lucky there, and I still got to continuously do the show, and so I was happy about that.
Did you bomb in front of your bullies?
Yeah, I did.
Damn.
That was the worst feeling.
Damn.
It was the worst feeling.
That sucks.
It sucked so hard for them to be there. Like, and I don't think they expected me to be there, but it was. Yeah, but then I also don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel petty. I don't want to be like, oh, like I'm up here and I'm doing better than you. And so
I would have. Not that I would have been doing better than them. I would have called them out and be like, these were my bullies right here. These fucking bitches.
No, I don't. When it comes to women, probably.
Well, you're
not.
a nice Filipino.
Not that.
That's
nice.
a white side.
Not
That's
that
gotta
nice.
be the white side, right?
But yeah, no, I think I just went through. I mean, you have to deal with a lot of insecurities.
Yeah.
I think doing any art, you have to deal with a lot of insecurity about it. Of how do other people see me? Am I good enough to be? Am I good enough to be here?
Absolutely.
And so I went through this long period of, and I still go through this, especially moving to LA. Of like, if I don't have anything coming up, just reminding myself it's okay.
Yeah.
Just hang on, it'll come. And I guess I wrote down this list of everything I wanted to do when I was in Vegas, and I did every single thing. And I was so proud of myself once I realized that. And so just going, and that just gave me a whole push of self-esteem moving forward. Like, you did that, you can do the next step.
There you go.
And so, yeah, but
there you go.
Definitely there's days I'm like, I should have never done this. This is the worst thing I've ever done with my time. I should just move on with my life, start a garden. But no, so just keep pushing. What I try to tell myself is, like, if I see someone else doing really well, like, there's no difference between me and them. Like, I can do that too. Like, it's just, can I push myself to work that hard? Yeah.
Love that.
Work ethic.
I love that. So
It's Filipino side.
Yeah, there you go, dude, right? When you're in those lulls when you're not getting booked and stuff like that, what do you like to do to kind of get yourself out of that? Or, like, do you reach out to bookers? What do you do?
No, I don't. I just write. I just write, and I keep thinking, okay, if I have the work to show for it, eventually something will come up, and it usually does. And so I just take those stagnant times to write and develop myself. And I think of kind of, because so starting comedy when you're 20, I started when I was 21.
Damn.
And like, you don't really know who you are. You're
right,
just,
yeah, true.
That was the hardest thing, because everyone had was married and had kids.
Had experienced life.
And had life experiences. And I was like, I listen to Lana Del Rey. Like, I don't know what to do. And so then I took that and thought, okay, well, how do I show this is how awkward it is to be in your 20s as a woman. And that's kind of where I'm taking. It's like, I'm trying to get to know myself right now, and then kind of making that my whole theme.
So that's your perspective that you're taking, that you're writing jokes around.
Yeah.
No kidding.
It's like, this is my experience being a woman in my 20s, because it's a very confusing time. Like, looking back, I'm 26 now, looking back to 21 and realizing how different I am since then, and taking that in and analyzing it.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't know you'd like that. That's such a cool way to do it, where it's like, okay, I'm going through this in life right now. This is my perspective, and then write a set around it. That's
pretty
so
much
wild.
Exactly, and that's kind of the angle I go for everything. I mean, I talk about like my past relationships, reflecting on when I was a teenager and how I see that now being in my 20s. And most of my friends are older than me, and like the advice my older friends will give me. And so, yeah, and I think the whole finding your voice thing was like, okay, well, not many girls in their 20s here.
Right.
Like if I can connect with other people, and if I can get like 40-year-old men to listen to what I'm going through as a 26-year-old woman, that feels pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so wild. That's a good fucking note. I'm going to clip that for the people who are watching. I'm going to clip that. That was a fucking great note. So right now I'm kind of like, I think I'm hitting like my first plateau, because 2 weeks ago I had the best week of my life going to these mics, fucking saying funny shit, getting everyone to laugh. And this whole week has just been nothing, dude. Like even on stage, I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like that muscle I've been working on riffing, going to the improv mics. I feel like it's just fucking either stagnant or not there.
Yeah, and you're gonna continuously feel that. You just have to embrace the suck. And when you're gonna suck sometimes, other people are gonna be crushing it. You can't be crushing it all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it does get easier to get over that as time goes on.
What do you do to get over it? Like not even get over it. What do you do to kind of jump that hurdle and be like, get back to what I was 2 weeks ago type shit?
I think one, you get used to it. Like you'll do shit and you'll feel less shit about it as time goes on. You're like, okay, I didn't do good. That's okay.
Do you still hit mics during that time, or?
Yeah, I do. And then I think so. And this varies from person to person. I like to really write out and plan what I'm gonna say.
Gotcha.
Other people can riff.
Yeah.
And so, and just really get into it and write when they're at a mic. And I'm trying to learn how to do that, like write when you're at a mic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I need more structured things before I go in personally. So sometimes last week I just took a break. It was like, I'm just going to rest and write and process what's going on in my life right now. I'm like so burpy right now.
Oh, good. It's probably the kava.
But yeah, so yeah, just don't let the funk get to you, because you need the funk to develop and really stop and pause and say, okay, what's going on in my life right now? What can I talk about?
Oh.
Like, what do I want to say now? And sometimes the stuff you have to say is gonna be crap, and just keep going.
Yeah. Everything I say is crap, so I don't even know what's good right now.
I mean, everything we all say as comedians is crap. So
That's
no. I mean, yeah, and I don't know what I think. I think you're doing great, Jesse. I think you're crushing it.
Yeah.
Look at where we are right now. Yeah. Like this is the coolest place.
Has nothing to do with my stand-up, people. This is just the podcast. My stand-up is still remain to be seen if this podcast is helping my stand-up. No, but I actually do feel like it has. This podcast thing has really been helpful. So helpful, dude.
Oh yeah.
I probably wouldn't have. I always say it. I probably would have never stuck with comedy 5 months in if I wouldn't have started this podcast, because there were so many things where I just didn't know what to do, didn't know how to navigate myself, and doing this and being able to talk to people is so helpful, dude. And so supportive. People are so supportive when they come on. It's great.
Yeah, no, just definitely, yeah. One day you're going to be the supportive person, and you'll be so, and I think this is great. It's a great way to like get to know. It's weird. It's a great way to get to know someone when you're in front of a mic and a camera. Yeah. And you're just,
well, I always say that, I've been saying lately that I think this is going to like the new form of, entertainment. I think people are kind of over film and TV just because of just how fake it is.
Really?
Right?
I don't.
Yeah. No?
I don't think people are over film and TV. I think film is there's definitely issues with film, I feel like, as someone who has no film expertise as myself. But I don't think TV will go away. I think we love shows, and I think we just want to bring back good shows. That's my dream job, is to like, one, do comedy of course, but two, I've always wanted to write for a show, New Girl, or like a sitcom
that's
like that. Show. That would be my dream job. That's the number one thing I want to do.
But see, New Girl, what was like, came out what? It ended like 2016.
That's something I wonder. So, are sitcoms done now that we're on
definitely
Netflix?
Not. I'm just like, and that's was my point. It's just like, I feel like because entertainment has been so inundated with like just, I don't know, bullshit. I feel like audiences want something real to where they can go to a podcast and just see the real side of those actors.
Oh, okay. And I think that's definitely changed with like daytime or nighttime television. Like nobody cares about celebrity interviews on a late night show, really.
Okay. That's
because
fair.
why, when you can watch Hillary Duff on a podcast,
Exactly.
which was amazing, but
Unedited, right? Unedited,
yeah,
or mostly unedited.
you know, some stuff will be edited, of course,
Right, of
but
course.
just like getting to know, and it is, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
Joe Rogan changed the world, you know.
Hell yeah, he did. Ivermectin, baby. No.
Yeah, so I don't know. What else do you find are issues in the media?
Oh, I just think there's this agenda. Like I had Forrest Wheeler on the podcast, and he was saying something great about art. How art was this form to where people who viewed art would be basically they would ask questions as opposed to hearing answers. And I think that's with books, with paintings, with film. Like my favorite films, Martin Scorsese. My favorite director is Martin Scorsese, and every single one of his movies, it's not plot based.
Yeah.
It's more story based. So at the end of the movie, you're forced to think about what you just saw.
Oh, absolutely.
And with the movies now, it's very much in your face. Here, this is what you are. This is what you have to think, and this is what we want you to be. Is what I feel like.
No, yeah, I
You know what I
get
mean?
that. That's how I felt about Barbie.
Of what? Barbie? Yeah.
Did you watch Barbie?
No, I
That's
didn't
how
watch
felt about
Barbie. I can't even. No, I didn't
That's
watch
how
Barbie.
I felt, and it was
Did you like it?
no.
Yeah.
I
Thank
didn't-
you. You're a real one. I like
I
you.
appreciated
Yes.
a lot of, you know, I think feminism is important.
Of
you know?
course.
I do. I don't hate feminism. I just didn't like the way Barbie approached it.
And look what Barbie did compared to Oppenheimer, right? Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan is a director who makes you
Yeah.
think. Inception,
I don't watch
Interstellar.
Oppenheimer, but I love Interstellar is one of my favorite movies.
But see, those movies he makes you think. It's not
Oh,
like this
yeah.
is what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where Barbie is like, this is what happens. This is how the world is. This is who you can be.
This is what.
Yes.
Yeah, and so.
But it made $1 billion. That's
No,
where we
no,
are.
yeah, it is. It is. There's a lot of issues. But you know, Jesse, we're gonna fix it. No,
We're gonna fix it.
someone
Comedians
will.
are gonna fix this.
I think we are gonna feel that. I mean, like, I haven't seen it, but everyone talked about everything everywhere all at
Yeah,
once.
that's a
that
good
one.
movie.
And I feel like things are starting to be fixed, and I feel like the problem is addressed. And I mean, the general population will always consume what's easy and what's
Right.
there and what's on billboards. But I think I kind of like it being like the good stuff being kind of underground and.
Like
You know,
independent,
some
almost,
kind of
yeah.
appreciation for it. But
Right.
I think there's good shows that will always be coming out, and yeah, it's just getting those artists there.
Right.
Is the hard part. Is like hopefully someone will come in and say here's some new artists, let's put them in.
It's a good thing that you brought up, like independent filmmaking versus studio filmmaking. Is there any such thing as in comedy where there's like studio comedians and then independent comedians? I wonder if that's a thing.
I don't know. Maybe there's people who just have huge followings, but they're not at the Improv in the store. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, or people who have podcasts and, you know, have blown up but still aren't doing shows, and,
Right.
like big shows or anything. So I'm sure there is, but yeah, comedy is a weird root. I don't think you can compare any of the roots together for music and film, and it's just at the end of the day, you do need a following, I guess.
No matter what you do.
Yeah, no matter what you do, and so, which makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, art is business.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Did music help you at all with the comedy?
No.
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 Not even
I
live
don't-
performance or anything like that.
I used to write songs, and I felt like that helped me with writing and really taking in, this is what I'm analyzing in my life right now. This is how I'm feeling, but going from a serious tone to a funny tone. Yeah. And so, yeah, TV, film, I don't know.
But that's your end goal. You kind of want to work write TV.
I would love to write a TV show or even like one of my favorite movies is Mean Girls. Like just
good movie,
making
dude.
another just grand slam like Mean Girls
Yeah.
is. Well, what a beautiful production that was.
Yeah.
Like I watched that for the first time at a slumber party when I was like in first or second grade. I know it was in elementary school.
Yeah.
And just being in love with it. And just that classic comedy movie, I do miss that stuff.
Yeah.
Because now I feel
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde. What are some other bangers?
Like back then.
White Chicks.
White Chick. Oh my
Just
gosh, dude.
comedies like that.
Yes.
I miss them so much.
Dude, White Chicks, man.
White
That's
Chicks
comedy
is-
gold.
Yeah, it's you rewatch it and
Any
it's
Adam
still
Sandler
perfect.
movie, Waterboy, fucking
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore.
The pre-era of Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
But no, I do. I wanna. That's what will get me into film is being able to write a comedy movie like that. And I feel like they are coming back. Like there was Booksmart, Olivia Wilde did, which was I thought really funny. People were like, it was just super bad with girls, but it was still good. It was still a good film.
Right.
But yeah, I hope that's what I hope I see grows in comedy is comedy films because they just faded away. I feel like, and everything was like, here's Kevin Hart and The Rock,
And Will Ferrell. or what's your favorite comedy movie?
Honestly, it is Mean Girls.
Okay.
Like I
that's fair.
still quote Mean Girls all the time.
Freaky Friday was another one.
Freaky Friday was great.
Another one.
I wouldn't call that exactly a comedy. I think that was more
No?
of like a teen movie more.
Teen drama.
Teen drama movie. Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. Okay, this is what I always go back to. This is what I think made me want to do comedy. Rooting back to the roots.
Rooting back to the
This is
roots?
stupid saying. Going back to childhood. Amanda Bynes.
Yes.
I loved Amanda Bynes.
Same here.
I would watch the Amanda Show, and
Yes,
sometimes
dude,
I'll go
yeah.
back and watch clips of it. Like this girl had her own sketch show
Yeah, dude.
at 15 years old,
Wild.
and it was hilarious. And
And
so,
who knows what Hollywood did to her because she's all kinds of
my
fucked up
God.
now, dude.
Poor
Remember a
girl.
couple months ago they found her downtown just
Yeah,
naked?
They found her, walking around Hollywood Boulevard on St. Patrick's Day, just naked, and I think they just pumped some drugs into like her and Britney Spears back in the day.
Yeah. Right.
And I think soon there will be some studies of like, hey, what did we give all these
Dude,
women?
that's how it always works, right? Like we don't know the truth until fucking 20, 30 years later. Where
Yeah.
like look at Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Right? Like Judy Garland, Wizard of Oz. She was getting pumped with pills, getting fucking molested,
Yeah.
raped by those studio heads.
But-
and it was all cool back then, but 30, 40, 50 years it finally comes out and everyone's
But
like, yeah, that's all right.
I think Amanda Bynes is super underappreciated because she was hilarious.
Yeah.
She won Funniest Kid in America.
Yeah.
They had another contest of that, and it was held at Burbank and Nickelodeon when I was a kid. And I begged my mom to drive me out here to do it. She didn't. But I'm really glad. So like this is something I'm really glad about. I'm really glad I was not a child star because when I was
gosh, that would have been awful.
when I was a kid, I wanted to be on Nickelodeon or Disney Channel so badly.
Yeah, that was a dream.
It
dude.
was
That
so
a
badly.
dream.
I wanted nothing more. I had
I want to
like
be
this,
on all that.
Exactly. I wanted nothing more. But actually, what's so funny is one of my friends now is a child star.
Oh, wow.
He was a child star. He's not a child anymore, but he was a child star. It's so crazy. I'm not gonna say who he is, but he was on one of my childhood shows, and it's weird because he's like one of my friends in LA now, and like he had a good experience, but he can see how other people just
Fall into that hole, dude.
yeah. He had really good parents, and so.
Because there are some shitty parents, man.
And he got out of it. But I think about that all the time, especially like living here, is I wanted to be I wanted to be on Nickelodeon so badly.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad every day it was not
Yeah.
that never happened.
I always think about like how we were talking about our homeless problem here in LA. I always wonder how many of those homeless people were like childhood stars or stars back in the day that had something messed up done to them. You know what I mean? And they ended up in that position. That I actually thought about that idea, like, or not that idea, but that thing like today or yesterday. I was like, damn, like that would make sense if that's what they would do to keep people shut up. You know what I mean? Just feed them drugs and then let them out in the streets, make them seem like they're crazy.
So sad.
It
So
is.
sad. No,
Messed up
yeah.
world.
I don't know. Have you had a big realization like within the first few months of living in LA? Is there something you realized?
The first few months, I moved out here when I was like, 2017 or 2018. So the landscape was a lot just more different. You know what I mean? Like the temperature of everything that's going on in LA was a lot different. I guess the one thing that I noticed moving out here is that they didn't sell alcohol at the fucking gas stations.
Oh yeah,
That
and then
was
you can't buy
weird.
alcohol after 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like I remember.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then grocery stores will close at 2
grocery store goes closed.
a.m. Yeah. What is this?
I remember one time I came out for a show, in LA when I was lived in Vegas, and I was so hungry, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get snacks at
Yes.
7-Eleven, and 7-Eleven was closed.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, what is this place?
It's weird. I don't get it, dude. Fast food joints will close. I'm like, dude, what
There'll
is
be one
this?
Taco Bell with 30 cars in line at like
2
1
hours,
a.m.
it's like an
and you're
hour
like,
wait.
I will starve.
That happened to me once, dude. An hour wait.
Yeah, and so just I don't know. LA it was such a weird place. Like, do you ever stop and think like, wow, I moved out here?
Yeah, all
I
the
did
time.
it. And
All the time.
It's so crazy because you feel so small. There's just so much. Everyone's going somewhere. Everyone's doing something.
Yeah.
And it just you feel so tiny and
Yeah.
unimportant, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Do you?
Yeah, I like how tiny and unimportant I feel here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the dating situation like with you right now in LA?
Oh yeah. Okay. You know, everyone talked about like dating. So when I moved out here, I was still in a relationship. Long distance relationships don't work.
Yeah.
They just don't like. Like maybe they do if you really, But I wanted to move out here. He didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was out here for a bit, and then I was just like, you don't want to move out here, do you?" He's like, "I definitely don't." And I was like, "Okay, well, let's just go our separate ways and be happier in our own lives." And I wasn't really sad about that. I was fine with leaving that just in the past.
Right.
And then I was like, I'm just gonna be myself out here, give myself my freedom, be single in LA, and all the nightmare stories that all my like LA friends have. And then I met someone, and I was like, I met someone who I had insane judgments about at first.
Okay.
And then I got to know them.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, I judged you completely wrong.
Are you in love, Liz?
No. But I judged them completely wrong. And they are an amazing person.
Do I know this person?
They've been on your podcast.
Oh, shit. Leave the comments on who you think it is. I'm just kidding. No one
What
comments on my shit.
I know. I would feel so cool if someone did.
And they knew it?
No, I haven't hard launched it yet. No,
Okay.
No, but
Well, how long have you guys been...
we've been dating for maybe like 3 months now, which is not a long time. But I think I was very scared to date again, especially in such a big city in LA. And when I was in Vegas, I did try dating a guy who lived here, and that wasn't gonna work out living in Vegas. I think if you have money, you can do a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
Like I know
Fly 'em
wealthy
out whenever.
people. Yeah, I know wealthy people can do that, but
Yeah, that's true.
no. And so I don't know. It's been good, really good so far, and it feels stupid to be like giddy about it because I've been
Why?
really bitter. No, I haven't been bitter, but I was just like, okay, I'm gonna give myself a love. I don't need a man in my life, and then now I'm like, I'm going on a date. It's so exciting. No, yeah.
Look at you.
It's been nice.
This is awesome
It's
because
been nice.
what is this, episode 32 or something like that?
32.
Everyone was like, "God, dating sucks here."
I know, no, like, and I'm like, maybe
You're
it's
dating
just
a comedian too.
maybe it's
That's
just you. That's what I
Yeah,
tell people. It's
yeah.
like maybe it's just you. Maybe you're not ready to date. Maybe go shopping in a different area. Maybe take a night off going to an open mic
Yeah.
and go on a date if that's what you care about. But
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe this is just a testament to you because I hear that LA girls, period, from not even from comedians, from all the homies that I know, LA girls are one of the hardest girls to get into a relationship with, even dating or talk to. I hear that a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think of my girlfriends here
Mm-hmm.
that live here, and one of my new girlfriends who I've been becoming close with. She's amazing. She's in a relationship with a comedian, and she's incredible.
She from LA?
She's from
shit,
LA,
there
but
you
I
go.
can see. I mean, if you're out shopping for girls on Melrose, then maybe that's not the place to look
No,
for.
not at all.
For abroad.
No.
But why do you think it's hard to? I feel like people feel both sexes feel the same way.
I don't know. I've been out of the dating scene 70 years. I've
Okay.
been with my girl for 70 years. and
Yeah.
If I had a...
Did you guys meet here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met here like the first month we were both here.
Yeah.
Like she was on her balcony, I was on my balcony, and that's how.
See, I think
yeah.
it's just other people.
Yeah. Well, she's not an LA girl. She's from France. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So she's
yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe people have. So
I think it's hard out here because everyone, men and women, and whatever you go by, you're always looking for something better.
Yeah,
I feel like
you always
that's
you have
what it
such
is.
high
Yeah.
expectations.
Yeah.
You want something better, and I think I heard something. I heard that this is so stupid, but I heard this lady on TikTok say something like people have such high expectations of dating because you think you're going to meet someone and feel this like immediate electricity and spark, and it's just going to be incredible the first magical time you see them, and it's like it's not like that. No, like get to know someone, and then that will grow.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think I feel like a lot of people don't get over the awkwardness first, and that's why like Hinge dates don't work or Tinder dates don't work. Which I did a few of those when I was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I've never done one.
Really?
Never done
Good
one.
for you.
Yeah.
Good for you, sweetie. No, but and I don't blame people for doing that. I mean, say you work a job and you see the same 9 people in your office.
Exactly.
You go to the gym and you go home. You go out with your friends occasionally. Where are you going to meet someone?
Exactly.
And so that's what I thought too. I was like, where am I going to meet someone? I'm not going to date another comedian.
Yeah. Oops. There you are. No.
Yeah, and I think I was a little against it at first because I did have, I don't know, you do still, you kind of compare each other. You kind of compare yourself to them in a way. But once you get over that and you realize that you're more supporting each other, it's a lot better.
And it's patience too. Like what I've noticed with my relationship is just really just being patient with one another.
Exactly.
Like my girlfriend should have broken up with me 100 times, honestly. And she's just different. She's just patient, dude.
Yeah.
She just deals with the bullshit. She deals with my annoying ass, and
it's really
she loves
communication
me.
and like catching someone when they're ready for a relationship.
Yeah.
Because I think people go through a phase of wanting to be not knowing they want to
True.
be alone, or not wanting to be alone, but not wanting to go to that level of having a real relationship. Right. And I think especially guys in like their 20s, I feel like a lot of dudes deal with that.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Boys are immature. We're immature up until we're like fucking maybe 32.
But I also think that's okay. I think it's okay for dudes, you know, and if you're in your 20s and you don't really want a relationship and you just want to I think that's totally okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Or if you're in your 20s and you really want a relationship, that's okay too.
Right.
But I think you have to be very communicative about it, and you have to really understand yourself to do that. Because you'll see people get in relationships and you're like, you don't really want to be in that relationship, do you?
Do you think it could be a timing thing as well? Like maybe like, you know, like, not that your schedules would match up, but it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know what I was talking about.
It could be a timing of where you are. Like maybe you meet someone who's the right person for you,
right?
But you're going through some hard stuff.
Exactly.
Maybe they still have feelings for someone else, and things haven't subsided. But I also actually no. I'm gonna go get. It's not a timing thing.
Yeah,
because you will make the right time for someone when they feel right.
I was thinking the same thing when you were talking.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't had too much. I haven't collected the data on dating here in LA from many friends too much either. And so, I mean, pretty much all my friends are comedian and comedian. My 2 best girlfriends are comedian girlfriends.
There you go.
And it's great.
Comedians are awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I love comedians.
And comedian girlfriends are even more awesome.
Yeah.
I love them. Yeah, so much. And so, yeah, you know. So I have no comment on dating in LA. I think
good though.
I think people are like, dating in LA sucks. I'm like, maybe you suck.
Yeah. Because clearly, here's an example of, even though she's keeping it low key, and I don't know who it is.
You do. I told you.
I know. I do know. I was just playing for the cameras. I do know who it is.
I told you.
Lucky guy, dude. Lucky guy.
He's amazing.
He's a
so
great
talented.
guy. Very talented.
He's so talented. So funny.
Very
He's like
talented.
the only person I think. Him and my mom will listen to this, but he's.
I'd keep telling him he needs to go up to the Improv. I
keep
actually told
telling
him the
him.
week before
No,
I saw you. I was like, bro, you need to go up to the Improv.
He was supposed to
the
come
day before.
He was supposed to come that night.
Literally that day before.
He was supposed to come that night, and he chickened out. And I'm kind of glad he didn't. But no, I think I would have been a little bit nervous if he did. But no, he. And you know, he can go at his own time, but he's so talented.
Honestly, he's one of my favorite open micers right now. He literally is.
So
it's
I
him
saw
and
him,
one other person. But
so funny story. I saw him do. So I have a friend. She was on a show at the Ice House. The first week I moved here, and she was like, "Hey, come hang out this show." went to her show. He was on that show like before I met him.
Okay. Is that
And-
how you guys met?
No,
Okay.
I didn't meet him that night, but I just remember thinking like, this dude is so funny. Like
Hilarious.
the people on this show were all really funny, but him and like one other person really stood out. And then I saw him a few months later, and I was like, "Hey, I recognized you. You were on that one show." I was at the place, and I was like, "That will give it away."
Yeah.
You were on that one show. You did so great. Like, you're so funny. And I meant that respectfully as another comedian. This is me telling you, like, you crushed it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool." Like, yeah.
He thought you were hitting on him? Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was like, and we talked about this, and he was like, "Oh my God, yeah, I was just glad you saw me, like, on a real show." And, like, he's like, "That's, like, the first big show I really did."
No shit.
I had no clue. And so, yeah, and then a
Dude,
few
he's a
months
killer.
later, he did amazing.
And
that
he's one of the
night.
most consistent comedians I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a bad mic
Yeah.
ever from him. And I see him a
Yeah.
lot, quite a lot.
Exactly.
He's a fucking killer.
Yeah,
Seriously.
and he's so social, and even outside of comedy, he has that just
Yeah.
like charm about him. And so,
Yeah. And what I love about him is his descriptions. You would never think, looking at a guy like him, that he would have such a vast vocabulary. And when he describes things, I'm like, oh my God, dude, how does he come up with this stuff? Like, what does he read? He just sits and reads the thesaurus all day?
he does read a lot. I have a rule that I don't. My friend would always say this, like, "Don't fuck guys who don't have books in their house."
It's true, though.
He has like
It's true.
him and his roommate have like a whole fucking
Does he
library.
really?
Yeah, he reads a lot.
I would have never guessed that.
You would never guess
Never.
it. Everything he does, you would never guess.
It makes sense now, though. Again, like I said, with his descriptions, they're so
Yeah.
precise and so succinct. You know.
He's very talented. And
Very
I
talented.
don't think he even realizes about himself. But
So if he is listening to this, or he is listening to
He
this,
is gonna
dude,
listen to
go to the
this.
Improv, go to the
Go to the
comedy
Improv,
store.
please.
You're a killer. Just do your thing. Okay. Oh man.
I'm like sweating talking about it because I'm like, I don't know. No, yeah.
You're nervous? Does he make you that nervous?
No, I just get happy. I don't know.
It's
He's
cute.
cool.
No, it's good.
You can cut that part.
What?
You can cut that part.
No, I'm not cutting it. That's cute. He's gonna love that.
But yeah, what would you say was the key to you've been in a long-term relationship, and you seem you're still very cheery about it. And I see a lot of people like it. I really admire people who've been together for a long time and they still bring up their spouses. Like their spouses are still very present when they're not around. What do you feel has really, if you were going to write an article on relationship advice, what would you say?
I would say that it's just her. It's just her unconditional love. It's not
Okay.
even me, dude. It's her I don't know. Maybe it's maybe childhood trauma where I felt like I would always get abandoned by
Okay.
people because that's what happened in relationships and stuff like that.
So you value her so much in your life that motivates you to put in the effort to keep that relationship what it is.
You have no idea, dude. You have no idea. Like, and I want to give her the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's why I hustle. Like, I'm
Yeah.
here on a Sunday. Fucking, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, but it's like, I don't know. It's just knowing that she's giving me the unconditional love that I've always wished I had my whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've always just had the fear of abandonment. I always feel like that's like what's gonna happen to me. Like, she'll just up and leave. Because that, again, past relationships would be in a 4-year relationship and she'd up and leave and go to a different country type shit.
Oh wow.
And I was just
So-
and on top of everything that went in my childhood, that was like one of those things. My parents aren't divorced or anything like that. It
Yeah.
was just, I don't know where it comes from, but that's what it was for me. And dude, I'd struggled with that 5 years into our relationship. It wasn't literally up until like a year or two where I finally was just like, this girl fucking loves me. Like, I knew she loved me, but it was
Yeah.
like a different thing where it's like she loves me and she wants to be with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Even though we talked about it for the first 5 years, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It just finally clicked that I was just like, dude, I got to be a man. I got to be a
Okay.
man for her and just
Yeah.
fucking like
Like
provide. Like
motivates
all my
you.
dreams of being a director, being a writer in film and stuff like that kind of went out the window with me starting to hate film and stuff like that. But also it's like, okay, well then this is not what I'm like. Film isn't going to be like what's going to support us. I got to find something else. And this avenue how it came about and where it's going right now, like the projection of it
Yeah.
is insane, dude. Like, and all this is for her.
That's so
This
good.
literally all this is for her because
That's
it's like
sweet.
I'm gonna propose to her next year. Yeah, it was so funny. I I was talking to her for like 2-3 weeks about it, how I was going to propose to her. I'm ready to propose to her next year and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And she goes, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And 3 weeks later, she's like, who else have you told? I was like, actually, I haven't told anyone, just you. Because she's literally my best friend, dude.
Yeah.
Literally my best friend.
That's
Like,
so important.
yeah. And
Having that
that's
support.
Yeah. And it's like, I never want to be away from her. You know what I mean? I want to spend as much time as I can. I mean, like, I'll have like 2 bookings here in a day, and in the middle of the day, if she's working from home, I'll go home for like half hour to an hour
Yeah.
just so I could see her, and then drive back here for 40
see.
minutes. So it's literally just those things. It's creating time for her as opposed to managing my time.
I see.
Right? Like I can get all the work done
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes. It's like if she has a moment where I think we could spend time together, then I'll sacrifice everything. I'll push work off to the side for us to hang out for a bit, and then I'll get back to it. Because I create time. I can do it while she's sleeping. You know, I can do my edits while she's
Those
sleeping.
are things I appreciate. Like I've learned kind of. I've been in probably 2 serious relationships in my life, and that's something I do appreciate. Is just someone making plans, being like, "Hey, Friday night we're gonna go to the movies. We're gonna go to dinner. Like, does that work for you?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, you made plans. That's so hot." Like, no, just and it's so important to show like, "Hey, we have the busiest lives." But this is the time I'm scheduling to put you because you're important.
Yeah.
And I think that would be my relationship advice is like
Yeah.
make sure the other person knows that they are important
Exactly.
and you want to share time in your week with that nothing else matters and you can still be successful and make time for other
100%.
people.
And it's got to be unconditional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's better at than me. Like, I'll fuck up, and she's just like, okay, whatever. It's just life. And then she'll fuck up, and the Filipino side comes to me. You should do better. You need to do better. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the Filipino side in me, which
Yeah.
isn't healthy. You know what I mean? And I realized that early on, and I
Yeah.
have changed a lot from the first 6 months we were dating.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things where it's like you have to. I don't know. You just got to really love the person. Like for me, I knew I loved her. It just took me a little bit more time to realize that she loved me as much as I loved her
Have you ever been in love? Were you ever in love before you met her?
before I met. Well,
Before
yeah,
you were
yeah,
with
yeah.
her.
I was
Okay,
in
you
love
had-
with.
you
Yeah,
had
I
been
was.
in love
I was like in
before.
one longer relationship.
Okay, you
and
had
stuff
been in
like
love
that. Or I
before.
thought I loved her. I don't know. Like it was different back then. I was
Yeah.
really young. I was in early 20s. I dated her when I was 18 up
Yeah,
until 22.
that's understandable. That's love.
But
Like,
it was like I think it was more so that was like puppy love. Like this one with this woman.
oh
that's-
yeah, adult like yeah. I feel like adult because like I think my first like real. All my exes are gonna listen to this now. My first like real true love was I was like 17 years old, and it's that like, and it's so weird to explain love to someone who's never been in love.
Right.
Of like this unconditional feeling.
Right.
Of the like just tunnel vision of this is
Yeah.
what I want in my life is you. Nothing else matters.
Right.
And I don't know, like I've only experienced it really as like a young person.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ever experience again as like an adult, I'm sure it would be different.
Yeah. No, I think it takes more time as an adult. You know what I mean? To like not jump in
Oh
so
yeah.
quickly.
Oh yeah, because you learn and
Exactly.
and
But then again, at the same time, that could be, in my experience, that could be a detriment to the relationship, right? Like I'm so grateful that my girlfriend was so patient with me and willing to just
a slow burn is so nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
yeah,
And
as opposed to
so-
jumping in. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
you get to know them
effective.
more. You get, it's better.
Yeah, I think people just need patience with it when it comes to relationships and love and like patience and communication.
Communication is important. It's a
Yeah.
huge thing, dude. Because I'm not very much of a communicator either. And I got better actually with comedy. I'll tell you that what because what happened
you get
was
more comfortable saying
Yes.
what's uncomfortable to say.
exactly because what happened was I realized going to the open mics I was being more honest with other comedians than I was with my girlfriend. That was like a month or 2 in, and it switched. Ever since
you.
then, and that's what literally that's when I was just like, all right, well, this is a woman for me. Like I
Look
got to
at
be
you.
honest with her because it was so hard for me to be honest with her for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. But then, like, just doing that thing, like I said, just being honest in front of people, I have no idea and don't even love me, but yet I couldn't even be honest with my girlfriend. That really fucked me up. And it was a switch. Literally, right when I realized that, I switched it up. I was like, I'm never going to lie to her ever again.
Yeah, I
shit.
had that issue with my last relationship.
Yeah.
Is like I would lie to avoid what was the truth that would cause more. I felt like would cause more damage.
Right.
And it doesn't feel good that I did that. And So you learn, you're like, okay, now I want to be honest.
Yeah.
I want to be with someone that I know I can be honest with, and I can always tell them, and then trust that they won't feel indifferent, that they will appreciate my honesty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the ones who will, those are going to be the ones, you know what I mean? Like the ones that give you time, the ones that
Yeah.
respect you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? From a guy to a woman.
Yeah.
It's respect.
Exactly.
Because once they start disrespecting you, that's a red flag.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. And I've been in those situations. It is weird, but early dating is fun.
Yeah, of course.
It's weird because
Of
early
course,
dating is
yeah.
really fun, but then it's also tricky because you have to communicate. Like you have to
Right.
go through the.
You
Hey,
got to know the short lingo, like the short talk lingo, right? Like you got to
Yeah.
know what you guys mean by a certain either body
Yeah.
movement.
First,
or,
you have to go through the like. Okay, are we like just hooking up, or like do you like
Yeah.
Can I leave my toothbrush here?
Yeah.
Like. Like I would go through this phase of I was dating where I'd leave my hairbrush and be like, is this weird? Is this okay? Can I do this? He's like, no, leave your stuff here. It's fine. I'm like, okay, I just don't, not thinking too in the future. It's just this is my hairbrush here in case I forget mine. And and then kind of understanding what issues you guys have. Like I have really bad anxiety, and I get like panic attacks and stuff. And then it's like, okay, at what point do I show that to the other person? And so just learning about someone, I think, is just as challenging as maintaining a relationship later on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like talking about relationships.
So do I. No, so do I.
So
Yeah.
it's so interesting to me, especially.
It's a cool dynamic, dude. Like meeting someone, starting the relationship, and keeping that relationship going. It's a really like it's work, but it's fun, dude. Especially if you're doing it with someone that you enjoy doing it with.
Exactly. And I've learned relationships have always come so easy for me. Like since I was young. What was harder for me.
I'm so sorry. I gotta piss so bad.
You gotta piss so bad?
Yeah. So sorry.
Dude, I get the Asian glow too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh my
like,
gosh, that must be even worse for you because your
guess
complexion, right?
Yeah, but I do get the Asian glow.
Your whole body?
Especially if I drink beer, my
Yeah,
face
dude.
will just be pink.
Yeah.
Like I remember so many times in college just looking in the mirror at a party like, whoa.
it's bad,
I'm
dude.
glowing.
Yeah, it's
No,
bad.
yeah. That's when I prove my Asianness though. I'm also like the lightest lightweight like ever.
Same
That's
here. It's an
another
Asian thing though. We have like
Yeah.
an enzyme in our liver
Exactly.
that can break down alcohol or something.
Have that dumb enzyme. I
Cheap
have,
date though.
I
That's
have
fun.
I have 2 drinks. I'm smacked.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy.
What's your go-to drink?
My go-to drink, lately, the easy drink for me. Okay, I felt very validated because my favorite drink is a vodka Diet Coke, and everybody thinks that's weird. Everybody thinks that's weird.
Vodka Diet Coke?
Yes, but
What the fuck?
I wasn't a fan of this person until they said that was also their favorite drink. Taylor Swift, that's her favorite cocktail too.
kidding.
And I'm like, she fucking knows where it's at.
She's
She
a real
says,
one.
well, vodka Diet Coke. It doesn't make any sense. I know, but it's good. I love it. I would get that at bars all the time. And then one day someone was like, that's weird. And I
That
was
is
like,
weird. That is really weird.
I know someone was like, that's weird. And I was
Yeah.
like, is it? I didn't know. I thought that was a normal thing to get. I thought you could mix any alcohol with any soda.
I don't think I've ever tried that actually, dude, to be honest with you.
So that's like if I'm in a place where if I'm like a shitty bar, I'll get that. If
Yeah.
I'm like somewhere and I feel weird ordering that, then I'll get I'll get like a margarita probably would be
Okay.
like my second go-to.
Yeah, margaritas were fun. Tequila's
Yeah.
fun. That was my drink
Tequila,
in Vegas.
yes, I love
It was just
tequila.
me and my homies would smack a whole bottle of 1800 before we even get downtown.
Yeah.
And
Drinking
then-
in the parking lot was Vegas culture. You'd park, drink.
in the parking garage.
'cause- yeah.
Smoke a blunt maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Are you a smoker?
No.
No?
I don't smoke at all.
At all?
I occasionally want a cigarette
Oh, okay.
if I'm drinking, but I never would buy one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Good for
I
you,
used
dude.
to vape a little. I used to
Okay.
vape a little bit, but I didn't really like it.
That's still really good
Yeah.
for you, dude. I haven't met a lot of people like that.
really. I know. I
Yeah.
feel like everybody smokes weed now.
Yeah. Well, smoke something.
Smoke
right?
something.
Like vape, cigarettes,
Yeah.
weed.
No, I've never been a continuous smoker.
Good for you, man.
And I feel like a very balanced drinker because of the fact that I can only have 2 drinks. Like,
Do you like to get fucked up though? Because once I start drinking, I can't stop. I have to keep going until I'm blacked out.
I get to a point, I'm like, I'm having a good time. Yeah. I'm just gonna have some Diet Coke after this, no vodka. But no, I found a happy place with it. I drank a bit last night, but it's kind of just people kept buying me drinks and they kept appearing. But I even like my body will kind of tell me like, okay, that's enough. Like I don't want any more.
Good for you that you can stop that. I cannot stop. Because I was known for puking before we would even go out.
Oh my God. No, I hate vomiting from drinking. I think that's the worst thing.
I love it. Okay. Get it all out of your system and then so you can start all over again.
Start right back up. Put it right back in. That's disgusting.
Exactly, yeah.
No, what were you talking about?
Relationships.
Relationships.
What were we
Cute,
what were
love,
we saying?
communication.
You love.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Early dating and yeah. I guess something I like to ask people in longer relationships is like, how much have you guys changed? I think that's the hardest part of having a longer relationship is you are going to change. And will you still want to be with that same person when they're a different person, when you're a different person?
I honestly don't think if we have changed, it's more so in our career rather than with each other.
I mean, as a person.
As a person?
Yeah. Like, do you feel like you haven't changed that much?
I feel like I'm more ambitious and more like, I actually know what I want now out of life, right? Like back then, there were selfish reasons back then. It was me. I wanted to be a director. I wanted to do this. But now it's like, again, want to provide everything for her. Am I answering this question right? I don't know if I am.
Maybe not. Maybe,
what was the question again?
I guess too, maybe because you're a little bit older. Like if because you change as a person with like you want different things.
Right.
You want your personality might be different. How you see the world will be different. Something could have happened to you.
I actually go ahead, finish.
Did you not feel that way?
I honestly, dude, to be honest with you, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think we've changed at all towards each other. Yeah, I think
not towards each other, just as individuals.
As a person, no, I don't think we've changed at all. Like,
wow.
It's one of those things where I feel like she's the same person. If anything, we've gotten better at communicating, better at the relationship.
Okay.
Right? We've changed that way.
Okay.
But individually, I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's interesting.
Yeah, maybe what our wants are in terms of our career, but in terms of our relationship, what we want from each other, I don't think that's changed.
Okay.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's a
that
good
out.
question.
Cut that out.
No, why?
I don't know. Now I feel like I didn't ask a good question.
No, that's a good question.
I just want to be a fun time.
No, you made me realize that. Like,
I just want to be a fun person.
You know what I mean? Like,
podcast.
if I were to like say anything, it's like when I met my girlfriend, we started smoking weed. Or no, she started smoking weed. I've always been a stoner. I've been a stoner since I was like 18. But she started smoking weed, and she doesn't smoke weed anymore. If anything, that's the biggest change.
Were you in Key Club?
Key Club? Is that like throwing it up and shit? No. What's Key Club?
Okay, it was like a big Asian thing. It wasn't Key Club. Everybody who was Filipino in my high school was in Key Club. Key Club was like pretty much Asian club.
I may have gone to like a meeting just to sign my name in, but that was it.
Never mind.
I hated Asians growing up.
Cut that out.
Hated
Asians. I would go to
not hated, but just like I the culture was just awkward.
I tried. Okay, this is what I was gonna say. I remember what I said. Relationships were easy for me. Relationships were easy, but friendships were harder.
Yes.
When I was in high school, I so desperately wanted girlfriends. And when I was in college, I did get diagnosed with like really mild autism, so I'm slightly on the spectrum. And it kind of explained to me, it's like, oh wow, I had no girlfriends, but I aced all my math tests. Now I see why. But so...
No, that's just a Filipino. No.
Yeah, both. But I really wanted to... Is it going to pick up the sirens?
Oh yeah. Shout out to LA. Shout out to LA. Shout out to WeHo. ODing.
ODing.
Oh, motherfuckers ODing.
ODing on the fentanyl.
On the fentanyl, whatever it is that they're doing out here. It ain't definitely ain't weed. You can't overdose on weed.
Okay, I'm gonna start over and then we can.
No, you're fine.
Cut. Once this gets through. Some shit's going down.
Some shit is going down,
Shit's
dude.
going down. But shit's always going down.
Always.
In LA.
Always.
Like, but I feel like being from Vegas, we're also like used to it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is very true.
Like we're coming from starting over because this is like something just so important to me.
Yeah.
But relationships were always easy for me. I struggled with friendships throughout all of school. I was very insecure of, am I a boring person? Like, what if I would hang out with other girls? Like, they'd ask me to hang out, and we just didn't connect. Something was always off about it. And I did have good girl friendships here and there, but they always kind of diminished.
Right.
And so when I was in college, and college was very lonely because I was in school for engineering, so there weren't many women to begin with there either. Yeah. And so I made it true to myself, okay, I really just want to make girlfriends, and I really want to value those relationships. And so I've now in my later 20s, I'm putting a lot more effort into my friendships with women than my romantic. I'm pretty much doing the same things.
Right.
And my best friend, she is incredible. I'm so thankful for her, and I've been very open with her about like I want to learn how to be a good friend. I want to have these really powerful friendships with people. I want to support my friends, and she's helped me so much with it. And I think that's the best thing I've done for myself, is really put in the effort to say, I'm going to make girlfriends. I'm going to cherish these relationships that I have with these girls. And that's my best advice to girls is having girlfriends, or even maybe a bakla friend.
I think you and my girlfriend would get along great because she's the same
Really?
problem. Yeah, it's hard for her to like find chicks that she can get along with,
It's tough because like
especially in LA.
And I don't like, I'm not like, I never want to come off as a pick me. Do you know what a pick me
Oh
is?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I never want to come off as a pick me. Like I love women, I support women, but like connecting with girls can be very hard for me.
Absolutely.
Like I did go to an all girls mic, and it is a shift in tone because you got to be like hanging with the dudes.
Yes.
To
I love Barbie.
Talking.
Yeah, no.
We're talking about girl stuff now. Yeah. Oh my God. Did you hear about Scandal? You guys watching The Golden Bachelor? And so, no, yeah, having girlfriends it's so important.
Yeah.
And I definitely prioritize that. If I have plans with my girlfriends on a Friday night, and the person I'm dating, I almost said their name, the person I'm dating, if they're like want to hang Friday, I'm like, no, I have plans with my girls.
There you go.
You go hang out with your dudes.
Well, how about this?
And-
Your next girls' night, you hang out with my girlfriend, and I'll hang out with your man.
You just want, no, I will take your girlfriend out, honestly.
Yeah.
If she needs girlfriends, I can be a girl's girl, honestly. And like so yeah, since I've been here, I've made 2 new girlfriends here. And, you know, one of them I see every now and then. She's also from Las Vegas. And,
Oh, cool.
But she's into things that I'm not really into, but I've that's another thing, is finding like another girl that I'm like, we like the same things. That's tough.
Yeah.
Like, I went hiking with one of my girlfriends the other day.
Yeah.
And my dude was like, he's like, you don't like hiking, do you? I was like, nope, but I love friendship. I love friendship. I will climb a mountain for friendship. And I suffered.
Yeah.
I was not having a great time. But no, I did actually.
Now,
really
will
did
she
enjoy
suffer?
it.
Will she suffer something that she doesn't like for you?
I'm sure she would come hang out like one of my shows or something too. Like, and so I definitely, we went out and got brunch, and it was great. And so,
Oh my God, I love brunch.
I hate brunch.
I have this whole bit where I'm like the girl of my relationship. I love brunch.
I hate brunch.
What?
I love breakfast.
You would definitely get along with my
I
girlfriend.
love breakfast. I hate brunch. Like, fuck a brunch.
Dude,
I don't want to be in a loud.
I want a sangria.
I
wanna
can
get
make
my
breakfast
omelet,
and be in my quiet home. I don't.
It's the experience.
I
girl.
don't want to be in a loud restaurant drinking at 12. I got shit to do. I don't want to be drunk at noon. I don't want to have a stomach ache. I'm just going to go to brunch and take a nap, which I do love naps, but
What kind of Las Vegan are you?
I hate brunch, dude. Yeah, I hate it. I hate brunch. No, I do love breakfast. I hate lunch. I hate lunch in general.
fuck?
Lunch is the worst meal.
What?
Lunch is the worst meal, and dinner is holy. But yeah, I know. I'm a breakfast. I usually don't eat lunch.
Do the breakfast buffets though?
Breakfast
the
buffets.
the Sunday buffets in
Sunday
Vegas.
buffets in Vegas.
Oh my
Fuck.
gosh,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
The best time to go to the buffet.
Oh
Sunday
yeah.
morning.
But they closed a lot of the buffets.
Have they?
Yeah, a lot of the buffets at the station casinos are closed. I hate that I know that.
Is
But
it because of the
I was-
pandemic? Or-
after the pandemic, they never reopened them. The one at the
Fuck
South
that,
Point. The one at the South Point's pretty good.
That's a good
Next,
one.
if you go back,
That's a good one.
If you
dude.
go back to the South
The
Point
Q,
one.
or is that the Q or the M? The M.
The M also has
That's a good.
another
that's
one.
a good one.
But-
Red Rock is because I'm from Summerlin.
Oh, you're from Summerlin.
So we hit up the. Hey, oh whoa.
Yeah,
No, I hit up the Red Rock one a lot. That shit's fire.
Yeah. And so Friendship. Let's see. What other girl? I'm trying to think of other girl things that I've had to kind of pick up. I do like going to drag. I have a friend. We go to drag.
Okay.
When I
I've
go to
never been.
Vegas, we go to drag.
I've never been to a drag show.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, it can be a little overstimulating, but it is very fun. Costs a little bit too because you're like tipping them as they're dancing.
So it's like going to a strip club.
It's not a sexual thing though.
I'd rather just go to a
like-
strip club and see women get naked.
No.
I'm not tipping a drag queen. I love drag queens, but I'm not tipping.
Okay. No. Yeah. It's just it's a fun thing to do. Yeah. And so finding that's another challenge is finding an activity you like with another girl. So like I'm adjusting to the hiking thing. I'm like I can do this. I can do this
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
I don't really like being out in the sun.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so yeah, that's my advice to your girlfriend is find a girl that you like doing an activity with and let that activity bond with you. Because like one of my best friends in Vegas, like her boyfriend's also a comedian, so he's always at mics and shows. And so she's used to being at mics and shows. Yeah. And so I'm like, hey, I'm doing this show, like come hang with me. And she'll hang out with me and drink with me. And so that is nice to have. And so
maybe we'll go on a double date.
Yeah, maybe we can go on a double date.
Let's go on a double
like
date. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
I would like that, actually.
I think
everybody wants to double date us, and it makes me...
I definitely want to. I definitely want to.
You're like number 3 on the
You guys
list.
my favorite comedian right now. I definitely want to fucking double date
us?
I definitely want to double. I get weird when we go on double dates. I'm always like fixated on the guy. I'm like, because it's the only time I get to like really talk to another guy.
To like bro out.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
And he is such a bro.
Dude,
like
exactly.
he's such a bro. But like even when like we went out with one of my friends and he was like very acknowledging of her too, and so no, yeah, but yeah, you can.
Let's seriously make it happen though. I'm so down. I'm so down to double date with you guys.
Yeah, not brunch. We can go out.
Oh god damn it. Way to take out all the fun, Liz.
We drink, so we don't wake up until like 10, 11.
It's perfect time for brunch.
We go double date. All right, we did an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's I'm capping it here.
Yeah, let's cap it.
Yeah, let's let the people know where they can find it on the socials, and then we'll cut it.
Liz Hader, 2 Z's. Hater, like Bill Hader, but he's not my father. Not father, asterisk.
All right, well, there you go. An episode with Liz Hader of my very first fucking Las Vegas on the fucking show. We made it happen. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Until next time, bye.
All right.